Real quick, I got a question for you. I know you got to go too, right? What color is Christ? What skin color is Christ? You don't know. Does it matter? No? Why not? Elaborate. Just tell me why it doesn't. Huh? The message matters. Okay. All right, read Matthew 24:24. Listen to this. Right? Listen to this. This is Christ's message, so I want you to hear this. I'm going to let you go, right? I see you, your feet still turn that way. You want to go. I want you to read this. Matthew 24:24.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 24. For there shall arise false Christ.
Now show it to him, right? Show him what color is written in. Turn your Bible and show it to him. When it's in red, who's speaking? Christ is speaking, okay? So you know. So whenever the writing is in red, it's Christ speaking. So Christ is saying, there shall arise false Christ. Alright? False Christ. Read it again from the top.
For there shall arise false Christ and false prophets.
So there's going to arise at some point false Christ and false prophets, right? Read.
And shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if there were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
So the purpose of there being a wrong image of Christ in the earth was, Christ said, was to deceive the very elect. Question for you. Who is the elect according to the Bible? Okay, so you thinking election or the elected, right? Now, Christ, we're going to read it out the Bible. Now I want you to see, okay? There's an elect group of people, right? To be an elect means to be chosen, right? To be picked, right? So there's an elect group of people. Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect.
And who?
And Israel mine elect.
So Christ said the purpose of there being a false image of Christ was to deceive the elect. According to this verse, the elect are the children of Israel.
Yes.
So there was a specific group of people who were to be deceived by there being a false image of Christ.
Right.
So it does matter, right? We can't say it doesn't matter because Christ is telling you there's going to be a false image, there's going to be false things that come up, so you won't believe in me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Real quick, go ahead.
But it's probably talking about, like a different person, maybe.
Like a different person? Okay. So that's a good point. He was talking about a different person. Who is this? That's a great point you made. He was probably talking about a different person. Yes, he was. Who is that? Do you know? That man is Caesar Borgia. That's an actual person. What they did, right? The Pope said, take my son and paint him as Jesus Christ. This is what Christ was prophesying about. He said there's going to be false Christ and false prophets. So another person did come and they painted this image. And now the majority of images you see that look like Christ, they look like this, right? They look like that. You don't see images that look like this in churches, right? You've been to the Catholic Church, have you? Do the images look like this? Okay, but if you go to Rome and you go to old temples, guess what the images look like? They look like this. They're dark-skinned images. You see? Give me Revelation 1 real quick. Watch, I'm going to show it to you in the Bible. Revelation 1 and verse 13. See, what happened is during the time of Greeks, there's something called iconoclasm. You ever heard of it? Okay, iconoclasm was when they took the dark-skinned images and they painted them white. So the images that had skin color like you and I, they took them and said, I'm going to make them look like us, the people who were ruling at the time, right? So this is what Christ actually looks like. Revelation 1 and verse 13.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to the foot.
So this is talking about Christ. And it said he was clothed with the garment down to the foot. Now, oftentimes in Christianity or Catholicism, they'll say they don't know what Christ looked like. But in order for him to be clothed, what must he have? In order for you to be clothed, what must you have? You got to have a body, right? You can't have clothes on without a body. You got to have a body, right? So Christ had a body that was clothed. You with me? So that means his body came with a what? A skin color. He wasn't invisible. Have you ever seen an invisible man? Okay, let's go.
And print about the paps with the golden griddle. And his head and his hairs were white like wool.
So the head on his hair, right, and the hair on his the hair on his head and the hair on his face were woolly in texture and they were white in color, right? So he had white, right, like you know, like an older gentleman, right? Like they would have white hair. So he had white hair and he had white hair here. and they were like wool, the texture of that brother's hair. Look right there. The texture of his hair, read.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass.
So it said his feet now on his body were like fine brass. Now your feet, are they gray? Why not? Why not? Do they match the rest of your body? Okay, but do they match the rest of your body in color? So your feet look like nothing like the rest of your body. So if you take off your shoes, your feet are this color white, and the rest of your body is tan. That's what you're telling me. No, that's impossible. Your feet, the top of your feet look nothing like the rest of your body. They do. It's impossible. Look at the top of her feet right there. Do they look like her hands? They do, right? No. The sole of everybody's foot is gonna have blood poking through, right? I'm talking about the tops of your feet, because that's what he can see. And somebody standing up, you would see the top of their feet, right? You want to see the bottom, right? Okay, read that again.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
So the tops of his feet were like fine brass, which is what color? Okay, brown, right? So he had his feet were a color of brown. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Now you take those feet, right, and you burn them and you pull them out the furnace. Have you ever seen polished brass? Okay, what does polished brass look like? Shiny. Okay, what else? What color is it? It's golden. Okay, so it's not brown. It doesn't get more brown. It does. It does. We could Google it and look at it. But the point I want you to see, right, is polished brass gets darker. So the purpose of him mentioning that is what his feet were brown, but if you put his feet in the furnace, they would have been darker color. So Christ, according to the Bible, was a dark-skinned man. Yes! That's important because they gave you this image. And Christ said the purpose of that image was to deceive the very elect.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.